Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Steve Duvall, and this is news on Sedona.biz. And we're here with Mayor Rob Adams in our regular monthly interview that we sit down and talk about stuff going on around town and stuff going on in our community and stuff going on around in our world. So, good morning, Mayor Adams. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
There's always stuff.
All this stuff.
Always stuff.
There's always stuff going on. I got it. So, let's get right to it. Something that I've been following and something that's been on my mind and the mind of the community is what's happening with Yavapai College. I think since last month they've consummated the sale of the parking lot.
They have not consummated it.
Have not consummated.
No.
Okay.
That is due to be consummated in August, about mid-August.
Okay, okay. And that's the exchange for the parking lot for, tell me a little.
Well, another 5 acres that the college has.
Okay.
So basically they're getting land that's contiguous to their present building, and I think it's about a 4-acre exchange for about a 5-acre exchange.
Okay. I've been reading Robert Oliphant's report about the college, and I attended recently one of the Board of Governors meetings, and they're telling us one thing, but I'm reading the report and reading some of the information that I'm getting from the college, and it doesn't match. Ultimately, their mission is to sell that campus.
Well, in their 10-year plan, that's
right.
That's what they proposed. You know, what the administration as well as a couple of the board members have said, if we resolve the land issue, then they'll take the sale of the campus off the table.
Okay. And yet they've adopted the plan to sell the campus. So it kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Well,
makes me wonder.
Yeah, I guess you have to look at it this way, Steve. I mean, there has to be some trust here, I guess. The college is investing a fairly considerable amount of money improving the roadway that goes directly to the north of their campus and heads west. So all of the frontage of the property that they're exchanging will have a roadway on it, and they are sharing that cost with the owner of the cultural park. They're also improving the parking lot and increasing their parking capacity directly west of the college. So, you know, it's $1 million+ investment. You know, is their intent after that to sell it? That's not what they say. Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I do know that they're making an investment in it.
Right.
And they're presently talking with staff and myself about that roadway.
So they're making an investment with college funds?
Yes.
And some of those college funds comes from Yavapai County, residents of Yavapai County. You live in Coconino, right? Yeah.
I do, but yeah, about 40% of the funding for the college of their budget, or 60% of their funding, excuse me, comes from property taxes.
Right, right. So there are some statistics that show the percentage of funding coming from the Sedona area and Sedona property taxes.
There are.
Yeah, and there's a disparity in there, and that seems to be one of the issues.
Well, I guess one of the issues for that I am concerned about, and certainly a number of citizens in the Verde Valley, is the inequitable distribution of funding between the Verde Valley and the Prescott side. Right. The last time that we spoke about this issue, the direction that I was heading was to call the mayors in the Verde Valley together to support a resolution addressing this this concern. I have since had that meeting with the other mayors about 2 weeks ago. Unfortunately, we did not come to an agreement or a consensus on the resolution. What I am proposing to the mayors is that we all give it to our councils for consideration. And our legal department and myself wrote a resolution that we proposed, and they can debate that resolution and its wording, and you know, end up supporting whatever form of that resolution or not that they want to. That's the first step. The second step is that was proposed at the meeting. Actually, the new board member, Al Filardo, made this proposal, that we form another committee in addition to the committee that is presently being formed by James Perry, who is the dean of the Verde Valley campus. And that other committee is proposed to report directly to the board and be an advisory committee to the board. James Perry's group is being selected through a list of people that have been submitted from the different cities and the unincorporated community.
So will that be the Board of Governors then for Yavapai Community College
Well,
to decide who's on that committee?
The Board of Governors, that committee, the proposal is that those appointees be selected by the various city councils in the Verde Valley instead of by the administration of the Verde Valley.
That's encouraging.
Well, it's an additional effort to basically provide transparency and accountability in what Yavapai College is doing and give the citizens of the Verde Valley a voice in their decision making.
Perfect. So this year's history in terms of the curriculum, I mean, here we are in June, we're talking about the college. They start in August, right? So
Yeah,
there's no changes that are going to be made in the plan.
They passed their budget.
Right.
And, certainly I personally have some concerns about the distribution of funding that is shown in that budget.
I checked my tax rolls. I'm in Yavapai County, and I paid $195 to the Yavapai Community College funds. So, are we getting represented? Most of that money goes back over to Yavapai College in Prescott, but how much of that actually comes back into the Verde Valley?
It varies each year.
Yeah.
It depends on where the focus of their programming and curriculum is. Obviously in the coming fiscal year, a vast majority of that funding is going to the Prescott side. That doesn't mean that that's always the case.
Yeah.
There's several concerns that I have. Yavapai College was proposing to sell the Sedona campus, and they already have closed the facility that they had in Camp Verde. And the intent there supposedly was to consolidate the campuses and cut down on their costs. Yeah, I can see some rationale there, but I guess if you were going to apply the same rationale on the Prescott side, why are they investing so much money in two campuses that are literally within 10 miles of each other?
Yeah.
Why don't they just have a central campus over there? Now, I can't answer that. I don't know what kind of decision making went on there.
Yeah.
But if the purpose of consolidation is to save money, then there's clearly an opportunity in the Prescott Valley side to do that.
So why are they building 12 new tennis courts?
Well, there's a lot of questions. The bottom line is, the politics, I believe, and three of the board members live in the Prescott area, and two of them live over here. Do the math.
Yeah.
When
exactly.
the decisions are made.
Yeah.
So I think, again, I said this last time we talked, we have not been at the table. We haven't had a voice besides the two board members that we have. Those board members need to be supported by our communities in encouraging developing curriculum and programming that's appropriate for the Verde Valley and an equitable distribution of.
Well, there's kind of a two-pronged approach to this. One of them is financially they need to remain viable, and at the same time their mission is to provide education. Mm-hmm. And in moving all this economic stuff around and buying here and trading there and selling this, it's not serving the needs of the community, and that's what they're here for.
Well, I feel as though there needs to be consistency in their rationale for making decisions.
Yeah.
Now, I don't sit on that board, and I know as a mayor and a city council member that oftentimes you make decisions that your constituency don't understand. And they say, why are you doing that? You should be doing it some other way. And it's easy to be, an armchair quarterback on all of this. And I don't pretend to be knowledgeable about how the college works. I think that we need people that are knowledgeable, that are participating in that decision-making process. Now, James Perry's group is purportedly going to be looking at curriculum, programming, public outreach, those types of things. the concern that I have with that is that you cannot make educated, informed recommendations or decisions without fully understanding the budget. That should be the first thing. We need people at the table that understand the budget and then can look at the proposed programming and curriculum that James Perry's group is going to bring forward. And they'll be able to say, well, here's the opportunities or here's the limitations in being able to implement in the Verde Valley. Yeah. So, we don't have that yet. So I'm proposing that we have a group of citizens that are at the table with the board looking at the budget and understand that.
They seem to have managed to create a bulletproof barrier around the operations and the future of Yavapai College. And I think that needs some attention too, so that there's a mechanism for people to interact.
Well, they will tell you, and it's true, that their meetings are public and anybody can attend. So, the problem is nobody is doing that. I mean, it's pretty tedious to be sitting through any kind of budget.
Yeah.
But if we had people appointed to be going through that process, then those people could be giving their input, their opinions, not only to the board but also to the citizens of the Verde Valley.
Yeah. Let's shift gears just a little bit to the film school. It's an extraordinary film school that they had built, and for whatever reasons, they've sunsetted it. It's history. Now they say we're going to resurrect it in Prescott, and they have a lady down there they've hired as a consultant to help put it together. But the school itself, it had some momentum, 14 years, and now it's gone. And so there's some movement out in the community to see if they can't get, if not that film school, a film school back here in Sedona.
Right. Well, again, I was not privy to the decision making that went on there, so I'm not sure what happened. What I hear was Yavapai College says it was just a money drain, that there wasn't enough interest to keep it going. I hear on the other side from people that actually were involved with increasing the attendance a couple of years ago, actually doubling it, that the perceived problem that they had was that there wasn't any money being put into marketing the program in the first place.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think that we're going to get enough students from the Yavapai County to support the film school. It needs to be marketed throughout the state and outside of the state.
Right.
And so, other people have told me that's the problem. It's not marketed. So, whatever the problem is, that needs to be studied.
Right. So they may go a new film school that'll be completely its own entity and not connected with Yavapai College in any way, and that's out there to be discussed too. So
all that's on the table.
It's all on the table.
And the discussion that we've had with Yavapai College is, first of all, let's get your land issues resolved, which I think we're 95, 98% there. And then let's do public outreach so that we can get input from the community in terms of what kind of programming and curriculum would be wanted and supported by the different communities in the Verde Valley.
Exactly.
And so that's the step that I'm working toward. I'm thinking that the land issues are resolved. So that's I think it's important for all the communities to be on board and speaking from the same page in terms of accountability and transparency at Yavapai College.
Yeah. I think we're out of time.
Great.
It's been great chatting.
As always.
And as always, thank you very much. And stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, to Sedona.biz. We're going to be talking lots more about what's happening at the Yavapai Community College. And please stay tuned for all the updates on all these horrendous fires that are going on right now. So hope it's not impacting the city too much. Economically.
Yeah, the businesses really got crunched there for a while.
Yeah, I see that.
But, I think things have picked up just driving in this morning. There was a lot of traffic out there. So we're having a good year.
Good.
It just made me sick when I heard about the Junipine fire, but fortunately we got right on it, and that's been contained.
Yeah, terrific. So, ladies and gentlemen, thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you again soon. Steve Duvall here, over and out.